Guys, I love going on these rides with you around the world to explore music. There's always so much more. It's perfect for you. She's like singing out of my soul. Sometimes we get lost in our own little world, but it's all so much bigger than we realize. Who's Stan Walker? There's a song out a couple of months ago called I Am, official video, from the Ava DuVernay film, Origin. Almost 3 million views, y'all. 2.6 million views. New Zealand. Let's check it out. Who is Stan Walker? It popped up on YouTube and I decided, where is he from? Stan Walker is from Australia. Melbourne, Australia. He grew up on a marae in Maunganui. I hope I'm saying it right. Okay. And who is he? Stan Walker is a Australian-New Zealand singer and actor. Okay. I am. Subscribe. Let's go. All around the world to explore music and various content and look at the psychology, the philosophy, and learn and grow. Happy you're here. Let's check it out.
We are the color felt in spring.
I like that rasp you just had.
You are the wind, breathe into me. You inherit me,
Ooh.
I inherit you. I am the language you speak to me. As far as the eye could see, everything is changed. Tell me, how can we stand by? I don't wanna be the same.
Love this.
We are the waters, the rivers and streams.
Ooh.
Flow through the armor of a dying breed. I am with you.
Oh, that run. Come on.
You are with me, baptized in fire. We're lions in the grave.
Ooh.
As far as the eye could see, everything is changed. Tell me, how can we stand by? I don't wanna be the same.
Ah, it's amazing, guys. Oh, I love, 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 love going on these rides with you around the world to explore music. There's always so much more. Stan Walker, Australian, New Zealand singer, blowing my mind right now. His voice, the rasp, the runs he would do, that force, his breath control, his range. I mean, wow, wow. The texture of his voice. And that soulful rasp reminded me of J.P. Cooper. Again, I've said it before. When I compare, I use it as a reference just to help understand, communicate what I'm thinking, not for compare in the sense of who's better or whatnot. But that's just who he reminded me of. So if you haven't heard of J.P. Cooper, also an amazing artist. But Stan Walker, brand new to me. I've already subscribed. Go check out his YouTube right now. Stan Walker, subscribe to him. This was put out 2 months ago. And 2.6 million views. And I'm so glad I looked at this. This was a beautiful blend, the music video was, of pictures or images, I guess, clips of the film Origin, the Ava DuVernay film. Very interesting to me. I thought for a second I saw the actor from The Walking Dead in there. And that woman, the male that just popped up at the end when they embraced. I have to look into that though. Intrigued by the movie. But this music video, glimpses of that movie, and then back to Stan and this beautiful group of people, the tribes. I love the crescendo, the build in this musical composition, a lot of drama, elements of the indigenous and of the beautiful culture we find in Australia and in New Zealand. I love the, I think they're called hakas, right? In New Zealand. It's so amazing, the facial expressions that people do during the hakas. And it's fascinating because growing up, they're a part of the Maori culture, I believe, right? Performance art, part of the Maori culture. It's these facial expressions, it's dances, stomping with the feet, vigorous movements with the hands, rhythmically shouting. It's very powerful. And it's interesting because one of the things I love about exploring various things of the world are twofold. Two things come to my mind. Growing up, right, if I would have seen people dancing, going, right, I may have been like, I either would have thought what's going on, or because of religious upbringing, would have looked at it as evil, or, right? I mean, we look at statues or imagery where people are going and think maybe demonic or evil because we often lack more understanding of what's happening around the world, or we don't realize how heavily influenced the lens we perceive the world at, how heavily influenced that lens is based on where we come from and how our world, our religion, our culture, our nation has evolved. And it happens fast. Change happens fast, even within a decade, as we can see. Right? Look back to the 2000s, the 90s, the 80s. Already so many changes where we look back and go, oh, back then. And we're talking about 20 years ago, and we're going back in the day, right? Now imagine 100 years, thousands of years, learning about history. And a side note, you're welcome. Check out YouTube channel History with Sai. I've been binging, my husband and I have been binging his videos, amazing YouTube channel. And we're learning so much right now, diving into the ancient Canaanite, Babylonian, Egyptian, Assyrian history. And you see so much how people groups have migrated and moved around and changed, either through adapting to the culture and the religion of the time, or being captured, right? Or through things like drought and famine, or through invasions from the sea people, right? People coming from the Mediterranean, and now people groups being resettled through war, right? And now we're having people that are mixed, and we don't even know exactly. Are they originally Assyrian? Were they Canaanites resettled in Assyria? Are they sea people more from the Mediterranean? Are these people from Greece, right? We can only go back so far, and we're piecing together history, but there's no way to say someone is purely this or purely that. It's a marriage. It's a blend. It's this constant change. Things are constantly changing, as he beautifully says in the lyrics, and we'll talk about those in a second. And so to see culture and to see people and the haka in this sense and these facial expressions and realize, wait a minute, let me not look at that through my worldview, which has been heavily influenced by the time I live in and the people group and the culture that has influenced my region. Let me look at it more from a worldview, and then realizing this is not weird or silly or evil. This is culture, and the Maori culture and the way that they're dancing and the indigenous people, the facial expressions here, the way that was brought into this music video was beautiful, was honoring the vocalization and chanting, his voice, again, just off the charts. The song I Am, the title got my attention because from the Christian perspective, I could see people thinking of the Bible, phrases like Yahweh in the Hebrew Bible saying, I am who I am that I am, when speaking to Moses. It implies this, to me, this absolute statement beyond saying, I am something or someone, just leaving it at I am, right? It focuses on the verb of being. And we are human beings, I often tell you. Present progressive. It's an ongoing thing. We are. Not we were, not we will be. We are present. That's all we have. And when you look at that expression, we may think of religion or a God saying I am. It's very powerful and all-inclusive. Or we think of, psychologically, we think of identity. Hey, who are you? I am Rosalie. I am so and so many years old. I have so and so many kids. I do this for a living, right? We identify what we have, who we're with, what we do as part of our identity. So to say I am, to me, is this beautiful way of connecting with all things. The lyrics say, we are the color felt in the spring. You are the wind. Breathe into me. So using various focuses. We are, you are, I, right? It's this you, I, we. It's all connected. Breathe into me. You are the wind, breathe into me. It's this duality here and this give and take. It's this idea of living together and all having a direct impact on one another. We are the color that we feel in spring. Not just you, not just me, we. You are the wind, breathe into me. I need you. I need something from you. You inherit me, I inherit you. The things that have come before us, our ancestors, that trickling into who we are now and into what will come in our descendants. I am the language you speak to me. Okay, beautiful. I am the language you speak to me. So poetic, but also so profound and philosophically beautiful, because it implies, well, for one, we use language to communicate and connect, but a lot gets lost, right? Words are over and underrated. We overrate them because we forget that a lot is lost from the time something has left my brain and through my mouth and entered your ears and arrived in your mind. You'll hear things differently. You'll perceive it differently. So it's overrated, but at the same time, it's underrated because we forget the power of words. And so to say, I am language, right? You speak to me. You influence me. You affect me. As far as the eye can see, everything has changed. Tell me, how can we stand by? I don't want to be the same. That's also beautiful. Not wanting to be the same works directly with the idea of things changing. But it also makes me think again of what I'm learning about history, how things are constantly changing, people changing. And I think it's kind of awesome that it's that way, both in music and culture and art and nations, because it reminds us that no man is an island, and none of us can have a claim to just one piece of land all for ourselves. None of us can say, I am pure 100% this, and this is my land, and this is my piece of earth. We're going to die. We're going to be buried in that same dirt we think we can claim. And that is not to say that we don't have, boundaries. That is not to say that we don't get to establish ourselves and settle somewhere and try to create a life for ourselves and our family, right? We're people. We're not spirits floating around, right? We need a home. We long for shelter. That's a human need. It is not to say there's no need for boundaries, to say, hey, you cannot come into my house when I said no, right? There is a need for boundaries, just that duality. But it's this beautiful reminder of things are changing. We're always moving. There's no such thing as a pure breed. There's no such thing as just that original genre that came just from that country, right? Everything is constantly influencing the other. Tell me, how can we stand by? I don't want to be the same. So also saying things are changing. I don't want to be the same. I want to change too. Perhaps I want to grow. I don't just want to watch from the outside and stand by. Maybe when things are changing negatively. We are the waters, the rivers and streams flow through the armor of a dying breed. Dying breed, I would say, perhaps is us, we people, flow through the armor. Armor would work well with this idea of warrior, but also which makes me think of the Haka dances and warriors, but it also makes me think of psychologically, emotionally, that armor we put on, those masks we hide behind when we fight one another, when we forget that we are all connected. I'm with you and you are with me, baptized in fire, we're lions in the ring. Ooh, passion and powerful. As far as the eye can see, everything has changed. Tell me, how can we stand by? I don't want to be the same. So perhaps, again, this concept of I don't want to just stand by when things are changing. I want to be part of it. But perhaps also addressing that when things are changing negatively, we shouldn't just stand by. I don't want to be the same. I want to grow with it. We're changing with what's happening around us. And then he sings in, what language is this? That's what I was trying to find out. I am your lover, the art of Kurawaka. My good news. Takiri is the hater. Face the sun. Cross to life. New day, your hearing. New day, your message. Keep it up. I'm not sure exactly if this is translating this correctly. So tell me in the comments if you speak Maori, if you could help me with what he's saying there. But I love that marriage here between the English and Maori and the elements. Absolutely beautiful and perfect for this channel. What did you think? Subscribe to Stan Walker. Subscribe here. Let me know your thoughts on this beautiful composition, and I'll see you on the next ride. Ayo!